Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to ask you to take a minute and look at the three iconic people on the slide here behind me and think of the things that these three iconic people have in common. These three iconic people share the seek for security and living in peace. They all are refugees. And these are refugees who have made an impact and changed the world we live in today. Regardless in which field they have worked, these refugees seem to make a very massive impact, whether it is in discovering the law of relativity, contributing massively to the politics of the world and intellectual thoughts, or simply composing beautiful melodies. But these three refugees have managed to cross the borders into safety and get the support and the help they needed in order to create, innovate, and shine. So what's the difference between these three iconic people and the refugees of nowadays? No difference. That's what we believe in at the ReDI School of Digital Integration. So let me tell you the story about a little girl, Syrian girl called Lana. Lana was, unlike most of the kids nowadays, or unlike most people, she loved dentists. It was one of her really nice experiences going to the dentist, simply. And as a kid, she always dreamt of becoming one and worked really hard to get into dental school. So she spent all of her school years just working really hard to just try to get into dental school. And you can see the smile on her face, the expression, the happiness, the pride she has on her first day at the university. Unfortunately, this didn't last long because this happened. War happened. The war has raged Syria, destroying the peaceful and beautiful country, forcing Lana to flee the country and go to Germany. But Lana decided that she will not let war stand between her and her dreams, because she was raised to believe that if you can dream it, then you can achieve it. So Lana worked even harder, tried to put all that she can in her power to get into the Charité and start dental medicine in the heart of the German capital. And she is also honored to be here at the Infoshare conference representing ReDI, the ReDI School of Digital Integration, the co-creational digital movement in Berlin. So ReDI, how did I meet ReDI? Actually, I met the founders of ReDI last October at the World Health Summit, and at a side conversation, I realized through talking to the founders that ReDI was not ready yet. It was only a concept. It was valuable visions. It was a noble mission in order to fill the need at the German market. Studies show that currently at the German market, we have more than 43,000 open vacancies in the IT jobs in Germany. And this is estimated to escalate to 756,000 open vacancies in whole Europe by 2020. So what do we do? Good question. We look for motivated newcomers, support them with coding skills to help them reach their maximum potential and help them integrate into the German, to accelerate their integration into the German society through jobs and work. And this can only mean one thing, That's a win for the industry, that's a win for society, and that's a win for the refugees. And why is it a win for the industry? Simply because we are filling the open vacancies with the skills that these companies need. And why is it a win for the society? Because they add up to the diversity with their new background, with their new ideas that are generated elsewhere. These are values, people. And of course, it's a win for the newcomers because they can finally finance themselves and they can contribute to the bigger picture. This picture, globalization. Please excuse the typo because it was supposed to be on Keynote. No problem. Globalization. Globalization has caused our day-to-day life, connecting us to people from all around the world through food we eat, clothes we wear, music we hear, and in this case, coding. And the only reason such a conversation between one of our students, Rami, and Mark Zuckerberg, one of the world's biggest billionaires, is that because they both have a shared passion for coding. So you can imagine here Rami talking about his ideas of developing an online call via virtual reality so he can have a new experience with talking to his mom back in Aleppo. But not only Rami has such great ideas, all our students have great ideas. And that's why we started our courses with a kickoff event, an ideation session, where our students, as you can see here in the photo, brainstormed and at the end of the session gave a prototype of an idea they would like to achieve. For example, let's integrate. This is an application, you can actually download it already now and try it out yourself. Let's Integrate is like a dating application, but without the romantic aspect. Let's Integrate lets you meet local people as well as newcomers and set a date and go check out a new movie or do sports together or music. They are so cool, they even have their own signal. And they are even more cooler, and they are very hip that they're not only in Berlin, but even the New York Times have featured our student Khalid. Inspired by their day-to-day life, they also came up with the idea Bureau Crazy to help them. It's a gamified learning app to help you navigate your way through the German society, the German paperwork system and bureaucracy. So it's not as boring and dry as you might think it is. And here is the student project shaping up for the demo day. So at the end of our course, we host a demo day where our students can pitch their ideas in front of investors, journalists, you name it. And please feel free to come talk to us and join the demo day on the 9th of June. So I have been talking for the past 20 minutes, I guess, or 15 minutes. But how does this actually exactly work? Well, in order for you to learn coding, you have to have a laptop. And most of the newcomers and refugees that are coming here don't have laptops. This, we provide them. But what good does a laptop do without having an internet connection? That's why we provide our students also with internet connection and co-working spaces. So they can come in contact with people working in this industry and facilitate their way through the Tech Society of Berlin. And as you can see, we are sitting everywhere in Berlin, in Mitte, in Kreuzberg, in Schöneberg, you name it. We are everywhere. And the classes, of course. Classes are divided into two classes, the basic and advanced classes. So people with absolutely no previous knowledge can join, as well as people who already have somewhat of a previous knowledge, who have studied program science, information technology, or programming, for instance. And this doesn't have to be someone who has a certificate. It could be someone who started studying but didn't finish. It could be someone who has a certificate already. So we have modified classes for depending on our students. And at the end of the course, our students will have a portfolio that they can show their future employer and say, hey, I've programmed this site. Because at the end of the day, this is what matters. It doesn't really matter if you write a beautiful code or a long code or a short code. What matters really is the features that you can make with your code. And speaking of jobs, because we firmly believe that it's not only what you know, and that's coding, but also who you know, we organize Tech Talks. Tech Talks are bi-weekly talks that we organize where we invite someone from the tech industry of Berlin, Germany, Europe, or international sometimes, to come and give inspirational talk, to motivate our students, to talk to them about the lessons learned, the success stories. And not only do our students join for the Tech Talks, also we have Berlin locals joining. And this is the way also for networking and integrating the students into the German society and work. As you can see, we couldn't have made all of this great thing without having a lot of partners. We also had a lot of speakers coming in from all of these companies, really. Cisco, Stanford, Beta House, Axel Springer, you name it. Not only are we organizing this course, but we are co-organizing together with Facebook, Techfugees of London, Factory, Silicon Alley, a hackathon. And this hackathon answers the question, how can technology better the living conditions of refugees? By the way, you can still apply for an invitation and free travel to the 21st of May if you'd like to join. And it's going to be a really great hackathon, so you should consider it. We are also organizing a workshop with one of the most prestigious business schools in whole Europe and the whole world, the European School of Management and Technology, where our students will sit together head-to-head with students of the ESMT and alumni to design their own business models for the projects they want to run. So as you can see, it's a very full agenda, and we have a lot on our hands. It's great in the end, but it's not always, like they say, rainbows and butterflies. There are a lot of challenges. And one of the challenges that we have is the lack of motivation sometimes from the student side. You might be saying, why can that be, actually, after all the things you're offering? Simple answer, it's the shock. But why are they shocked? Well, simply because our students have an understanding of where they come from. They know their background. They know that they are educated people. They know that they are people of value. For example, the beautiful cities they come from, and the sun, and the peace they had. Their dreams and ambitions of getting a higher degree, going to college with their fellow friends. And last but not least, they know that they stand for culture and civilization. And not only culture and civilization this term, but also in music and celebrating, for example, Easter with the Boy Scout. Here's a short video. Well, that's their understanding. But it's not always the case how you see yourself. It's not always the same as how others see you. And unfortunately, a lot of times our students face false negative judgments. They are often put in the same category of the people they are fleeing from, the same pot of murderers and criminals. They are often judged as violent people, as sexist and rapists, as aliens. So you can imagine the challenges and the shock and how stressful it is mentally and emotionally and psychologically. But not only that, they have other concerns. For example, they ask themselves the whole time, will I be allowed to stay here? And if, then for how long? And if I were to stay here, then where? But it's not only this. This does not keep them or distract them from thinking about their families back home. And speaking of home, they keep on thinking, will I ever find home here? Will I have the same feeling I had back home? How does my future here look? Will I ever find a good job? And if I don't find a good job, then how will I ever earn money? And then they start thinking and thinking over and over again and doubting themselves if they ever made the right decision. So you can imagine for yourself that the journey is basically a roller coaster and not a very entertaining one. So how do we motivate our students and create an attractive product for them to keep them going? One word, co-creation. Co-creation in the business world means that involving your customer in the process of producing your product in order to deliver the most attractive and the most needed product on the market. And how do we do this? Like we said, brainstorming, always brainstorm, develop ideas. And as you see, we use a lot of Post-it notes to take this from ideas to prototypes. And the result? A smile on their faces. So, let me go back to the reason I'm here. And the reason I am here is because I have a message. And my message is that I believe that each and every one of us can make a difference by seeing the good in the people and having eye for the good and looking for it and supporting their potential. But how do we do this? By not seeing this as this situation here as a crisis, but more as an opportunity that we must seize. We must seize together. What we do at the ReDI School of Digital Integration is combine humanity with technology to break boundaries and bring people together. So what do we do now? Don't talk about refugees. Talk to refugees. Start the conversation and join the co-creation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Give a big round of applause. Are you open to taking a question?
Sure.
So anybody has a question? Anyone?
No questions?
All right, I have one. I'm super inspired by what you just told us. How can we help you? Like how can everybody who's here help you guys out in this journey? What can we do?
Well, like all the other startups, we are officially, legally live since February. And like all other startups, we are seeking sponsors and partners. So we're looking also for sponsors and partners. We are looking also for awareness, that people really know how to deal with this and just to spread awareness. You can also join us, and our future plans are in the long run to expand our vision into whole Europe. So think about it if you'd like to work with us in the coming years.
All right, that's a big recommendation from here. Lana, thank you so much. Please
Sure.
give another big round of applause for Lana and all her efforts. Thank you.